kids, it's desRow. We're back with Remax episode 12. Today with me, I have two new faces that haven't been on for a little while. And Chris, the same old fart that is bullying me every episode. Chris, how's life? Talk to us. Chris.
Huh?
How's life? Talk to us, man.
Oh, what? I don't know. What do you want? What do you want me to say?
Just like, you know, what have you haven't been up to? You know, are you still eating healthy? Is your girlfriend still underfeeding you?
I just had pizza, actually, so I've been eating more unhealthy lately. Yeah. It's not such a big deal, I guess.
Winter is coming. You have to bulk up, man.
Well, and I'm gonna be traveling for like the next 10 days.
Yeah, so you've given up. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be eating unhealthy. Whenever you travel, it's kind of hard to be strict. So, going to Taiwan tonight at like 1 a.m. for a 16-hour flight. Not looking forward to that. Shit's gonna suck.
That's wonderful, man.
16-hour.
Yeah.
16,
it's direct.
though.
It's direct,
yeah, okay.
and but it's still 16. I can't even imagine if it wasn't direct. I probably would not go to the tournament, to be honest.
Did they get you a direct flight for Peru? I have a stop. I can't believe it.
I have a direct flight, so.
Wow! All right.
I think I do. I actually should message the lady.
What about?
Anyways, that's it.
Yeah. What about you, Demuslim? What have you been up to?
Chilling in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in like an office right now, which is like I'm in the Fragbite building, which is like a building that they share with lots of other people. Like there's a fashion department.
Oh,
In
nice.
in the fashion department, like I didn't realize this, but like the fashion department in Sweden is basically like all the girls that are basically models working there.
Oh.
And it's like, okay, but like then you go to McDonald's and they're all models there too, and then like Burger King, they're all models there. So it's kind of like, oh, this place is awesome. But yeah, I've just been enjoying my time here.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I showed the picture of Sue on Remax. All right, a little bit. I messed up the overlays there. I was closing the tab.
Oh my fucking God! I just saw it. Yes.
Oh, the shit we do pre-show, eh?
This
all
is
right.
why you have nightmares.
All right. So, Rotterdam, what have you been up to? How's life?
Actually, life is not too great right now because I've been like really sick in the last 2-3 days and it's really bothering me. But other than that, it's fine. I have the two friends he's staying at my place. Like Litut arrived 5 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with him, same old. He bitches about everything 24/7. It's like he's like the woman I never want to marry because I would literally jump off a bridge and all that stuff. I can deal with him for 2 weeks, but after that, I'm so glad that Litut is gone. Yeah, it's fun to have him around. And now Fonka arrived on Saturday as well, so he's staying with us too. Fonka's bed is actually behind me on the floor now because Little thinks that Fonka snores a little too loud at night, so it would be very nice if he could sleep in my room. Okay,
Does he though? Does he?
I didn't notice a thing. Like I didn't even hear the poor guy. And poor Fonka is like all self-conscious now about his snoring. Like he's afraid to have a share room with anyone.
Freaking Todd though, like you never share a room with Todd because Todd is just like.
The funny thing is though, that the living room is probably 5 times the size of my room, and like Fonka was already all the way on the other side of the living room. But it's fun, you know. We tried, even though like I've been feeling a little shitty, we've tried to do some fun activities. Like we watched a couple of movies, which was fun. We went go-karting yesterday, which was really cool. We're gonna do some more fun stuff soon. So you know, basically you could say the BlizzCon party is slowly starting for me. But yeah, I just want to feel better, and then my BlizzCon event can really start.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Personally, I've just been streaming like a monster. I woke up at 2 a.m. to play twos with Winter. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're gonna go on with the show. This show has one serious topic and a lot of other stuff that are, you know, semi-serious, serious. So we're gonna start with the first half, which is WCS round of 16. We might cover round of 8, but I mean, it would be just speculations. We'll just do round of 16. And basically, the way we're going to do it is usually we would go, you know, from the first match at the top to the bottom one. But this time, we're going to do a different format, and we're going to pick the most one-sided match that you find yourself in the round of 16, and the most nail-biter. So if you think like those two players are like very equal in skill, and you really can't pick one, and then who's gonna get stomped, basically. Chris, hit me up.
I think MC is gonna get stomped by Hero
Oh.
3-0. And I think the closest match in skill, even though they're probably two of the worst players there, is gonna be San and Jokji.
Huh.
Oh, really? Do you think that's the
really?
closest match to you?
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Demuslim?
I don't like saying this, but I think the biggest stomp would probably be Bomber Jadong in favor of
Oh.
Jadong. No, actually,
Yeah.
I think Bomber's really freaking good right now, and
Mhm.
you know, every tournament he's gone into, he hasn't really like dropped a map, so I think that's awesome. Although Hero MC, that's a good one too. I think Hero's really freaking good, but PvP factor. As for the closest game, I think Sue and Tasia is going to be sick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What has Tasia done recently?
Well, that's the thing. What
He's
has he
Tasia,
done
man.
recently? Like, he's going to come to this event and he's like, he's not being seen, he's not being studyable by anybody.
That's very true.
Whereas Sue, he's been in absolutely everything, and I do think Sue's one of the best players on the planet. But I also think the same about Tasia. I think that's the coolest match out of the bunch.
Okay. I'm pulling up Tasia's recent results just because I'm really curious. Lost to Pig BB. Yeah, basically it was a round of 8.
16 WCS.
16, yes. Thank you,
Yeah,
Rotterdam.
but like he didn't really have to care that much about that. Like I didn't have the feeling that he wanted to stick around for a week in America anyway. Like obviously he always wants to win. If he could win 25,000, he will. But I do not think that you have to look too much into that result. Like he flew 4 medevacs into 6 cannons and a photon overcharge. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna fly his medevacs into 6 spores and a bunch of queens standing there.
It was so strange as well. Like that group, it was him, Jadong. Like it was a really hard group. Don't get me wrong, but like Jadong, like he annihilated Jadong, and then when he played Hyun, he didn't look like the same guy at all. It just looked really weird. And I remember looking at Iligulak a long time ago because I was like, Hyun, who beats you? And then it looked at like Nemesis,
Yes.
and then it was like, holy crap, Tasia was like 21-3 in maps against Hyun or something. I was like, holy, like, and so that matchup I thought it was going to go totally one-sided, but it went in the other way. So yeah, and Tasia's never done well in WCS North America.
No.
Like, he's always
That's-
the guy
that's-
that's like super favorite.
Yeah, he's always the guy who's supposed to win it, but the best result he ever had was semifinals where he lost against Polt in WCS America Season 2 2013. That's the best performance he ever had in WCS America.
Rotterdam, what are your picks for
Yeah, it sucks that I have to go last because I'm just going to repeat the guys, but I actually felt the same. Like, if I would bet on one match and that I would be most sure of the outcome, I would probably put my money on Bomber just because, you know, Bomber just doesn't really lose lately, and I feel that he is so extremely confident going into this series against Jadong. It would be a real big upset for me if Jadong would somehow be able to pull that one out and defeat Bomber. But I think Bomber is going to roll over Jadong. Closest match, I mean, I agree with Sue Tasia, by the way. I'm extremely pumped for that one because it is Tasia, and it's really funny because Nate told me this small story that he was talking with Paul, I think, in DC, and they were talking about WCS America. Oh no, actually it was the recent WCS America, the round of 8, and the last night we all had some drinks, and Nate was having this conversation with Paul, and he was asking about Sue versus Tasia, and if he thought that Tasia has a chance. He's like, and apparently Paul said something among the likes like, Tasia chance? Of course, it's Tasia. Opponent does not matter. Only thing that matters is Tasia condition. If Tasia good, Tasia is gonna win. Like Paul seemed to be extremely confident that it doesn't even matter what tournament it is or who plays what or what matchups. That like Tasia is just a god if he actually plays his absolute best. And I can sort of find myself in those words. Like I believe that too. If Tasia is like the Tasia that won the DreamHack event last summer, you know, where he's just like absolutely unstoppable, then I think that he can win this event too, and he can definitely defeat Sue. But the one that I'm most looking forward to in round 1 is Paul Classic. I don't know why, I'm like so genuinely curious to see if Paul can defeat Classic or not. Like I find it a really hard one to call, so I think that's the real nail biter.
So that's your nail biter. So far we've covered MC Row, Paul Classic, Bomber Jadong, San Jakshi, Sue Tasia. Personally for me, yes, I think MC Row is like too much of a one-sided stump. Maybe Innovation Yun actually, because Yun seems to always rely on roaches and stuff like that. But the closest match to me is Zes versus Life. Like, I can't believe none of you guys brought it up. I was like, wow, this is the match.
I'm pumped for it, but I don't think it's the closest one.
How
If you picked the life of 2 years ago,
No,
sure.
but okay. So
Life-
you guys, no. You guys
Life-
don't see.
Life
No.
himself tweeted when he got Zest. He was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, but
They tweeted GG.
Yeah, like when the guy who's playing doesn't even have as much confidence as you, how can you say that?
because every qualifier, he's always one map away from beating, Rain and all the really top Prodosses, like, for WECG and so on.
Like Desi, I feel you. Like I do think it's an amazing match on paper. And if you play Protoss or Zerg, then you're pumped for this one. But I don't think you can say that it's the closest match out there, just because if you ask 10 dedicated StarCraft 2 fans, I think at least 8 or 9 will say that Zest is going to win that series. While for some of the other series, that would be closer to 5 on 5.
Yeah, but the StarCraft
6 on
fans
4.
don't realize how big of a struggle ZVP is. We can just ask HuK over here. Anything to add?
I mean, it's definitely a struggle, but I think Zest is a.
You still think he's gonna win, favorite?
I think he's the best Protoss right now. Maybe closest hero, but other than that, it's
What about Rain?
No, I don't think Rain is as good as Zest or hero right now.
Not right now.
Sorry, Ben. I know he's a man you love, but
Same here.
I remember being in like the Arizona house with Chris, and like I used to cheer on SOS and Rain like unbelievably, and then like Chris was very confused as to why my 2 favorite players are both Protoss players. But, yeah, I think Rain's a fucking god. But I also think another match that's going to be pretty close there is like MMA Stardust.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's really close. It's just not like, because we see so much of them and they both qualified for Europe, you don't feel the same amount of hype, but I totally agree with you. I think that's a real toss-up. I think either of them can win. But I also think that Bomber is completely okay with either of them winning. And I think that Bomber should have, it's never easy because it's BlizzCon, but, if you ask me one player that's going to be finals, I would also say Bomber. And like 4 or 5 months ago, I wouldn't have said this at all. It's just, over the last 4, 5, 6 months, Bomber is just, he really stepped it up and he reached a level that I really think he was not going to reach anymore in his career, but right now he's just insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Bomber went to Red Bull, I remember thinking like, oh man, he's a Red Bull sponsored player, but he's going to get absolutely shit on here. And then he freaking decimated everybody in the final, going 4-0 against Cure, who was like in the semi-finals of GSL Code S at the time. I was like, what on earth is going on? Then he won WCS America very convincingly. Another thing, by the way, about this bracket, I was just thinking to myself, like, yeah, if Bomber wins, then I don't think the next 2 opponents are that scary for him. And then the possibility of the other opponents, I think, like, Hero's the scariest out of that bracket, maybe, like, Classic for him. But then, like, the bottom bracket just looks so much harder to me. Like, Innovation, Sue, Tasia, Zest, like, holy crap. Yeah, Life, even, like...
And even Hyun is not someone that we should underestimate. Like, I do think he's...
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty sick bracket. One match we haven't covered is exactly that, Hyun versus Innovation. Which
wait, I love how when you started this, you were like, we're not gonna do what we usually do. We're not gonna go through every match.
But it's the only match.
We're just gonna pick the nail biters and the ones that.
And then cover the leftovers. You always finish the leftovers, man. Take it from me. Come on. All right.
That was the best host, man.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Hyun versus Innovation, Ben.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I think Innovation's gonna take it. To be honest, like.
There is like 1 second, I got a match on Tinder. Hold on.
Dad, you can't keep Swedish girls waiting, dude. But like, I think Innovation is. I think he's the best player in the world right now. Like, I really do. You watch him play, he's so smooth, so mechanically good, and his only weakness is getting all in, which, I mean, can happen. And like Hyun is really freaking solid, but I think Innovation is the best player. Like, if he doesn't make it to the final, I'll be like incredibly surprised.
And just to go back to Bomber, because I forgot, because I'm a host and I have a lot of things to do. Is there a chance that he gets wrecked because he's been playing so many matches that people will hard counter what he does? Is there a chance, Rotterdam?
I mean, there's always a chance. Like,
yes.
You know, it would be really stupid for me to say there's no chance, but is it likely? No, I don't think so. Yes, he has been playing a lot of games, but that was even the case before that DC weekend, and players like Dongregu even at the time to study up on Bomber and to see what he's doing. And you know, Dongregu made quarterfinals of GSL Codex this season, and Bomber defeated him 2-0 without losing a single fight in either game. Like, he made it look so easy. So I'd be so shocked if Jaedong beats Bomber. He might win a map, because Bomber, you know, Bomber is like, he's a little strange in the way that he plays. He definitely plays extremely greedy, and Jaedong is of course a very smart player. But every single time when you think you have a really solid read on Bomber, he just does something completely different. And even in the last TVT series he played against Paul, he really surprised me like twice with the playstyle that he was going for. Even though it still had like Bomber trademarks written all over it, like no 2-2 upgrades or armory, he was so fast in a certain phase in the game where he was actually out multitasking Paul in the TVT. And I really, like, once again, if you would have told me 4 or 5 months ago that was Bomber playing, I would have said, there's no fucking way. So I don't think it matters that much that there are so many games from Bomber out there. I think he's going to do quite okay this tournament.
Okay. Go ahead, Ben.
That being said, like, Jaedong is a guy that I've seen, like, take reads on people. Like, for a while, he was the only guy that I saw absolutely decimating Tasia. And this was back in, like, the Whirlwind days, so it's quite a while ago, like a year ago, but against Tasia, he'd just, like, insta-win him. It was when they were both living in the Team Liquid house, and, like, I'm guessing they practiced together and had a lot of time to, bless you, Chris. That was violent. But, like, he really, really did read him, but that being said, Jaedong has like been very notorious for like just not making enough drones and stuff, and like not taking advantage. But Bomber's builds, like all the ones that he does against Zerg, like if he gets Roach Bane all in, he's absolutely dead, like dead as a dodo. So
yeah, but like the thing is, Bomber has such weird game sense, because like the one game where he does get Roach Bane on it, even if though he barely scouts, suddenly he makes a quick attack, or suddenly he has that extra bunker. Like, it has happened like twice that I was casting one of his CVTs, and on paper everything looked so solid, and on paper it looked like the Zerg was about to kill Bomber, and then he just didn't die because he just has like the right response without seeing anything. It's like, it's almost scary. It's like a poker player. Doesn't really have to see it to know it.
Yeah, I know. Like, and I've also seen him hold things where I'm like, oh, he's dead, and then he all of a sudden he holds it. I'm like, what's really going on here? Like, he is very scary, and Jaedong's got his work cut out for him. But
I mean,
who knows?
It's still
like,
Jaedong, of course.
Yeah, like last year or like last BlizzCon, Jaedong came second at the whole thing, you know. So he can turn it on when he wants to, and it's freaking Jaedong. So in fact, that could be a really close game. Like, it could be a stomp, but it could be a really close game. It could be a stomp in the opposite direction as well. Like,
it would be disappointing if it's a stomp. Like, nobody wants it to be a stomp. Everybody wants it at least to be a close series, no matter how big of a favorite Bomber might be on paper. Like, I think we all hope that it's going to be close. And, you know, if Jaedong wins, then immediately you have a great story there. The guy who barely made it takes out the #1 ranked player.
Yes. So there's going to be the round of 16 played this weekend at Burbank. The players, I believe, are starting to get their ass over there. And after that, the rest of the matches, the round of 8 and all the other matches, will be played at BlizzCon, November 7 and 8. In the arena. You can still buy your tickets, which I'm such a good host that I really have the link right now to give you in chat. No, that's a lie. I'll get it soon. Moving on to the next topic. The last map for next season has been announced. You guys hype for Zelnaga Caverns, the Muslim. Tell me your favorite.
Antigua?
No, the last map is Zelnaga, man. Rip
The
Antigua.
biggest thing is
Yes.
fucking Steps of War didn't make it.
You know there's like the results for every server that voted, and everyone didn't vote for Step was last except NA. It was ranked 8 in NA for the votes.
Cheesy noob in North American.
Yes.
I'm looking.
So why
at,
why didn't it get in if it was?
Because all the other servers didn't vote for it.
Oh, I see. Fuck these other servers.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad too. Like,
I wanted to play Steps. I thought it. What did you vote for, Ben? If you voted?
Not
all of it. Did you vote for Steps of War?
Actually, I didn't really vote.
No.
Wow, you were
Thanks
too
for being
lazy.
part of the community.
Wow.
I mean,
Shining example.
I haven't had like a computer for like the last few months or so. But I'm sad that Steps of War didn't make it. I'm really glad that there's some maps here like Yonsu didn't make it. Like, that was awful. I'm surprised Metalopolis made it.
Yeah, me too. Wait, no, did it? Yeah, it did. Second. Wow, too. That's fucking people.
I really didn't like that map at all. Like,
But it's a lot different now because I hated it because it was Broodlord Infestors, and that's all I could remember about that map.
I just remember like High Templars waiting on the cliffs for me
Oh,
as I'm walking by the side. I'm like,
yeah.
oh damn it! And like, you know, if you played HuK back then, he'd be like waiting with like a couple of cannons and 2 High Templars there at every point. It's like, god damn it! But like, I'm surprised that I thought Whirlwind was a cool map, but it'd be kind of lame.
I voted for Whirlwind too.
I think it was overplayed, man.
Recent. Yeah, too recent. That's why not too many people voted.
I voted for Belshir Vestige too.
Ooh, I'm so glad that Antigua's back.
No.
Oh wait, no, it didn't make it.
No.
Yes.
I didn't make
no,
it.
it did make it. It's
No, it's top 7. It's 7 maps, man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was 8.
No.
I thought it would be 8 as well.
No. It's 7 maps,
Well,
3 vetoes, so...
So people voted for wait, Akalon Waste. Oh, that map's kind of cool.
No, hell no! It's
I
like
think the
mech
community
heaven.
Failed. The community failed with the vote here.
Yes.
Because it wasn't exact.
Oh, Tal'Darim didn't make it. Tal'Darim was so sick.
Yeah, Tolerant was really good. I don't like...
Rocks, it'll be good.
Yeah, when they fixed the rock, it got a lot better. Yeah, the least voted map was Youngsu. I guess people really didn't like Swarmos.
No, it was well,
Yeah,
Swarm
it was
Host.
boring,
It sucked. It's like every match it was like super imbalanced on Yonsu. Like everybody
Blinks.
whined about TVP because of Blink.
Yeah.
Everybody whined about TVZ because it was like, how does Zerg take a 4th kind of thing? Like, and ZVP, I think it was like Swarm Host map, like Swarm Host Central. So like, there wasn't a matchup where it was like, oh yeah, this map's really cool, man. Like, we're gonna see a really great game. No, it's freaking bullshit all around. So, I'm really glad that people like understood that map was bad. But Daybreak, oh my god, I love that map. Oh,
Yeah.
Daybreak's gonna be sucky. Like boost medevacs and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
There's so many
And
good maps.
Mutalisks
It's gonna
and
be.
Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, it's gonna be very weird. It's gonna be the biggest thing is I'm looking forward to is just streaming louder, having fun. and,
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
all
exactly.
the weird shit that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like for that alone, that's why I really wanted it to be steps.
Yes.
Because every time you got on steps, people would be like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
There'd be crazy shit happening every game. I'm so sad I didn't make it.
I remember like in the beta when like everybody was playing that map, it was like you got bailing busted 1 base. It was freaking awesome. Like you had to like find your
rush,
strategy.
man. Like,
Yeah,
when
you
the
had to find your
SCVs at like 60 HP, they were so imba.
proxy game zealots and stuff. Like it's a really cool. I remember like proxy Void Ray being super good at that period of time too.
Yeah.
But I guess like my favorite. I was gonna say like my favorite maps are gonna be like Daybreak, Cloud Kingdom. I really liked Shakura's Plateau. I think they were really cool days.
Yeah, I like.
I had
I
a great
like
game against you
Shakura's
on
too.
Shakura's, man.
Yeah, you beat me.
Yeah, Rotterdam beat me on Shakura's Plateau too, man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
What? Am I the only one here that didn't lose on Shakura's Plateau to Rotterdam?
We need to organize like
Wait till you go in that show match against Rotterdam. Like,
yes.
I had him like storm dropping me and like Void Raying me and like
Nice.
I can't even remember what else happened. I just remember losing and I fought like for 40 minutes trying to win. It was like so hard.
That was one of my greatest games. I still have the replay camera.
Of course you do.
So really, the only old map that's making a comeback is Zelnaga Cavern and Shakura's.
Oh.
If you look at everything else, and I guess Metalopolis, which is gonna be forced cross, is Metalopolis can be legit? Chris, can it be legit?
It's hard to say. I personally hate any map that has gold bases. I feel like they're the dumbest.
It gets
one
in
of
your
the
head?
dumbest things in StarCraft 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right now, Overgrowth and Foxtrot are a pain in the ass because if the Zerg ever gets the gold base, it's like you just leave the fucking game practically. I think it'll be really fun. It's just the game is so different now. Like Ben said, a lot of these maps they have a lot of open airspace. And it's going to be like a lot of Mutalisks that are going to be a pain in the ass. There's going to be a lot of medevac drops that are going to be a pain in the ass. There's just, like, Metalopolis, I'm trying to envision the area you have to guard.
Yeah.
Off on the, and it's like a fucking, like, just this huge area. And it's going to be a huge pain. Like, a lot of maps, it's going to be hard to take third bases, like Shakura's Plateau. Like, trying to take that, it's going to be really hard to take a third base.
Yeah, even
I don't know.
I think even your natural and Metalopolis, like that's already kind of annoying in PvZ, right?
No, it'll be in. Yeah, when you think about it, it's just fucking. You're just out there. You're in the abyss there. There's nothing. There is nothing to help you. It's gonna be a big problem. Like if you think about back then when PvT even was played, you were like making a lot of gateway units, immortals, sentries, and then you had like this really strong fucking army that could just like fight anything. But now it's like you get like 2 sentries and a zealot, and you like rely on like that Colossus coming out early. But if you have this huge area where all this bio can just move on you, that's you're not gonna have shit, man. They're gonna fucking come take a dump on your face.
It's okay. You'll pull a Rotterdam and do Proxy Tempest.
Something. It's gonna be fun though. Either way, it's gonna be really interesting.
Yes.
It's gonna be really fun and fresh.
For like 3 days, and then after the 3 days,
No,
the
I think I'll enjoy it.
And I'm gonna start flipping tables. I know, I'm just kidding, but it'll be interesting.
I definitely think it will get us through the winter, and I think we'll all have a good time with it, and I think people will enjoy watching it as well.
What are the main maps that you guys are sad didn't make it?
I kind of want to play Scrap Station.
It wasn't even an option, but yeah,
it was
I
an
know.
option, yeah.
And other than that, Crevasse, man. Crevasse should have been in it.
No. Screw Crevasse, man. Nimbus is so dumb. I would have hated it if it made it. What about you, Chris? What map you were sad that didn't make it?
Steps.
Steps? Right.
Yeah.
I think Neoplanet S could have been a pretty cool map.
I voted for Neoplanet S actually in my 8 map.
Because I mean, would like fast mutas and fast medevacs really change that much on the map? Like a little bit, I suppose. But it'd be really cool for Tempest, with all that space in the middle, getting your army there and like Tempest shooting over it. But I think I'm most sad that like Tal'Darim didn't make it. Actually, I thought it was a really cool map.
Yeah, a lot of options. Personally,
Belshire.
Belshire? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool map too.
Yeah, I voted for it. My biggest disappointment is that, you know, people voted for reasonable maps. My mentality when I voted was like, let's just go full retard and not look back, and just try to play everything that's broken. No, it's true. But
I can just always count on you going full retard.
Oh, I saw your smile. I saw your smile when I said that. You're like, something's golden here. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to the next topic. MSI Beat It 2014 in Taiwan. The comeback tournament of HuK, because he needs it. We're gonna talk about the player pool. And
who bullies who here? You always got these little pot shots you give on me every Remax show.
Yes.
It's like, yeah.
What? I mean, it's like, okay. So anyway, Group A. Wow, Flash Violet has.
You got like a really fucking hard group.
I wouldn't even go. Just stay alone.
Go to Thailand or something.
Flight too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at this, and then there's like the next group with Cloudy, Solar, Ender, and Ian.
Yes.
I'm like,
Group A and Group D. Group D is really hard, and Group A is very hard. But Group C and Group B are, especially Group B. Group B, I'm like, fucking, I'm dreaming if I'm in that group, man.
I mean,
Ridiculous.
Ian is actually pretty good though. Like I saw his games against Spock in Double
But-
South America.
But Ian versus Flash or Violet,
Ah.
fuck Ian.
Oh, yes.
well, I mean, like,
depends what kind of shape Violet is in, right, guys? Hey.
Oh, all right.
I heard Taiwan is really fun.
I'll be like, Violet, let's go out, and I'll just take him somewhere and then leave very early.
Have you watched Neighbors, the movie?
No, I've seen the trailer.
Okay, there's this one scene where like this older couple is having shots with this younger couple, and they fill up with vodka, but he's just throwing the vodka shots through the window and let the young couple who get really wasted. That's like you and Violet, you just go party, and then every time he doesn't look, you just throw your shot away. And you're like, another one, Violet, another one. And then next day he's really hangover, you can beat him.
did something happen with Violet?
Oh well, no, you missed it. You were like, we'll get to it later.
Yes, we'll get to it after that, since we were talking about it now. So, who comes out of Group A, guys? HuK, Flash, Violet, and...
You guys go first.
I'm just gonna go to the restroom real quick, Ben, take it away.
I think it's actually a really hard group because Flash is super solid, and then Violet and Haas, they're dangerous. They're both dangerous. That's the thing. So like HuK looks at this group and he's like, well, fuck, I play Flash. Maybe I can win. Like, he's pretty solid, and I get to study him quite a bit, but he kind of like, he's just a solid guy. And then Haas can do crazy, crazy shit. Like, I haven't really seen him play in a long time, but Violet, I know whenever I play Violet, there's just lings everywhere running by me all the time. So I think it's a really, like, it's a scary group, but I'd probably say Flash first, and then it's a battle for second place between Violet and HuK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be my prediction for Group A.
Yeah, my predictions is Haas is going to show the way to beat Flash to HuK, and then HuK's going to stomp Violet, and then HuK will steal the build orders of Az and beat Flash with it.
Wait, don't you play Flash first?
No, he plays a Violet first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the dream is alive, HuK.
So you're saying that Haas is going to win the group, and then HuK comes second?
Yeah, and then he'll copy how to beat Flash. Obviously. Yes.
Alright.
I can't take our host seriously anymore.
No, but look, he's Taiwanese. Like, he's going to prepare, like, he wants to impress his people. And so, he has to do it. He has to deliver. Has to deliver, right? So, what about you, Rotterdam? Predictions?
I got it.
Your predictions, Rotterdam.
Alright, so Flash is gonna beat Haas. Then Violet is gonna beat HuK in the first series of the day. Flash will beat Violet. HuK is gonna beat Haas. And then HuK will actually win the deciding series against Violet 2-1.
What the
But as long as HuK, it's important that you don't try too hard in the first series. Cause like,
Okay, I'll just fucking pro brush.
Semi-throw, you know.
You'll be keeping up with results, and you'll see all these tweets, HuK pro brushes, and then you'll know why.
He's not gonna beat Flash anyway, so it all comes down to the second series that you guys play.
I SV rushed one player in my career, and that was Idra, and I lost. But like, yeah, how do you feel, HuK, about that group?
I feel like Flash will probably make it out first, and then it'll be up until me and Violet. I think Haas is gonna get wrecked. I don't believe desRow. I'm not a believer.
No?
Haas is the guy that cannon rushed Jadong, right? Or
Yeah.
cannon rushed. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
with like the 10 pylon wall or whatever it
Okay.
was.
Okay. Oh my god, what? Like, that's the worst when you get freaking cannon rushed by something you've never seen before. Like, I remember going to an MLG and like I got cannon rushed. Oh no, it was a DreamHack and I got cannon rushed by Sase. Like, and Sase was just like smiling after the game, and I just like I wanted to flip his shit, but like I knew I couldn't.
Yeah. It's okay, man. Cannon rushes used to be legit, but then David killed them. So who's the favorite to win this tournament? Parting?
Flash.
Flash?
I think, yeah, Flash or Rogue.
Flash or Rogue?
Parting's been kind of dipping lately.
Mhm.
Oh, are we forgetting about Solar here?
Oh, yeah, Solar.
Oh
Solar's
yeah, that's
very
true, yeah.
He has a very easy group too, so you can at least guarantee him for, yeah, I would say Solar actually, to be honest. I think Flash is very good, and I think Solar versus Flash is very hard to tell who would win. But I think Solar's more consistent and less easy to read compared to Flash.
The sickest thing actually is as well, looking at this, is that if Solar just wins his group, he plays against the second group finisher of Group C, which is also a lot easier than getting the second place finisher of Group D. So yeah, you could say that Solar is pretty much guaranteed of a semi-finals appearance. But
who the fuck made these brackets?
I'm a really big Solar fan.
Like they just take B and C. It's a dream, man.
Yeah,
So, Chris, if you come second in the group, which is also already very good, then you probably play like Parting or Rogue.
I just realized that. That's why I said, who the fuck made these fucking groups?
Oh, wow, that's priceless, man. But, you know...
It sucks. Like,
yeah, but it's not biased, because otherwise Sen would be in the group of Solar, and then Sen
it's
would
still
write...
pretty... What? I would love to trade with Sen.
Yeah.
Or anybody in B or C.
Yeah, but they wouldn't put Sen on Group C and be like, alright, we got good chances here.
Well, if I missed my flight for some reason, you guys know why.
So, moving on to the next topic. We're not witch hunting, and, you know, just having a little bit of discussion about player behavior and what happened this week. And I confirmed with my co-host and guest, except Demuslim, before the show to see if they were okay with it, and we are, and we're gonna do Devil's Advocate and stuff. So Violet falls asleep and gets DQ and IM qualifier. And it's not the first time Violet is not, you know, is not always there like 100%. MLG Anaheim on the last day he was really hungover, and he tweeted after the match like, "Oh, I wish I played better. I was really hungover," which you know is questionable. You know,
like, I don't remember that, by the way, but the funny thing is, he got freaking close to defeating Trap. Like, he was up 1-0, and that second map that was played on Altazim, right? On the largest map with the in-base expand. I have a complete blackout right now, but I think, yeah, it's called Altazim. Like, I'm really confused right now, but...
It's
it
a
like
way station, no?
No, it was Altazim. Like,
okay,
the map where, yeah. Sorry, Altazim. I don't know. My brain is not functioning right now. But like Violet was in the left bottom and Trap was in the right bottom, and Violet was up 1-0 in that series, and he was in such a good position that game. Like it was almost impossible to lose, but Trap just pulled off a miracle and made a really big comeback and somehow won that game, and then went on to win the series. But when I looked at those games, I was actually extremely impressed by Violet, by how well he was playing, because I really thought that Trap was just going to 2-0 him. So I'm really surprised that now this story is coming out that he was hangover, because I can't remember that at all.
But you know, that makes it worse, right? If he plays well, then you're like, shit! Imagine if he was like a good boy and went to sleep at 7 p.m.
And that's what we thought about Stefano too. And then like whenever Stefano was a good boy, he never delivered. But if he stayed out till 6:30 in the morning and doing God knows what, he somehow shows up and he played like a god.
Yeah.
It's the way, dude.
Yeah.
But do we know for like, is that the reason that's been put forth, is that he was asleep?
Yes,
he was asleep. It's because he was in Korea and it was fucking really late for him, and he basically had a normal sleep schedule, and then he had to stay up until like 7 a.m. and then he fell asleep, which I think is quite understandable.
Yes. Yeah, no, it is, but it raises the question, you know, would he have a team now if he was more professional about his profession?
For MLG, maybe. Like, if you're saying, okay, maybe he gets second place or wins MLG, then it's possible he'd have a team. But he knows he fucked up. I'm 100% sure that he got chewed out by his manager, Andrew, from CSL or whatever it's called. I don't know. I just like for this example, it was one person to make it out of the qualifier, and he had to play Polt in the winner bracket final, which he already lost 2-0, and he's playing cross server, and he's been up all day, and it was 7 a.m. in Korea.
And he makes like 9,000 viewers wait. He makes Killeris and Medals that were casting from Europe wait 45 minutes to figure out if he's coming back or not.
Are Polt and Violet kind of managed by the same dudes?
Yes.
That's highly convenient for Polt. And like it just gives Violet a nice, like, if he does think he's gonna lose, a nice like sleep in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they're both managed by the same guy.
Yeah,
they live together normally.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. That sounds a bit funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's never cool when you like make fans wait and organizations.
But it wasn't.
Wait
He wasn't in the final against Polt. He had to play HuK, and then he fell asleep.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And then Puck got to play Polt. So if they were doing that, then he would have stomped Puck and then fell asleep and let Polt go on.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was like a conspiracy for them to let Polt's obviously the favorite anyways.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's too much for us to talk about. It's like, poor Violet, it was 7 a.m. Yeah, he shouldn't fall asleep, but he did. He's human, you know? People get sleepy at 7 a.m. I don't think he did it on purpose. Yeah, next time think twice before signing up to the qualifier if you don't think you can stay awake, but so be it. Like, I don't think... I think he felt pretty bad about it. He could maybe write... I don't know if he made an apology or something or not, but if he did, then for me it's all fine. Like, yeah, it's not convenient for the fans or for the casters, but it's not like he did it on purpose.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying he's like some sort of a crazy evil person, but I did want to discuss the fact that maybe he would have gone a team earlier if, you know, what if he wins MLG? You know, what if he tries harder?
I'm looking at this now. Like, did people shit on Kalaris for giving him like a...
Oh, I don't think so. The admin was away and they waited 45 minutes. Like, they had to go on with the show, you know?
45 minutes is even extreme. I think 30 would be the
normal. They said they waited 30, but there was like some downtime in between matches, and it really felt to me like 40, 50 minute like pass from like the last match to starting with the new match and giving a walk over to Puck. So
was there an apology afterwards, like from Violet?
I think he said sleepy OP on Twitter. I think is what he said.
That's the only thing that he could have handled a little better. Like he should just write a real apology than being like, "Hey guys, I passed out. I'm sorry."
Yeah, I mean, that I'd have preferred that. Like, if I was one of those guys waiting, and say Violet was my favorite player, and he says Sleepy OP, I'd at least like something like, "Hey guys, sorry, like I'm exhausted. Like it's 7 a.m. in Korea. I really tried, but I just freaking passed out, man. Like oh, I don't know. Like we've all been in like situations where it's like that kind of thing. But
oh, yeah, for sure.
you know, I hope he learned from it.
Yeah. Moving on to the next topic, some more drama, guys. I hope you're ready for this. Robert Holen gets replaced as CEO of DreamHack. We don't have the insider scoops. Why the hell is there? Okay, his name is the E and his last name is funky. It's like French-ish. So Robert Holen gets replaced as CEO of DreamHack. What are your thoughts? You've met the guy, right?
Yeah. He's been pretty good. I mean, I don't want to say friend, but like he's always been very nice to me. I've always been going to like the DreamHack dinners pre-event kind of thing that mostly only staff go to, like 9 out of 10 times.
Also, you're getting the VIP treatment, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's been nothing, but it's also because I get along with I go to almost every DreamHack. I get along with all the staff. I've known them. I've won that one DreamHack, and we've all gotten along for a very long time. But I liked Robert. I thought he was a really good guy. But besides that, I mean, we discussed it a little bit. It's not a horrible... I like Robert. He's a great guy, but he definitely had some problems in some areas. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Drive-by in California.
Oh,
is my microphone?
Yeah.
Oh,
anyways, I guess Roddy doesn't want me to say what I'm about to say. He was I know, I was kidding. He was I don't know how much work he actually... Okay, Roddy, I get the signal. I get it. You're covering for him. It's fine. Anyways, I don't know how much work he did. I didn't know all the interworkings of DreamHack, but he definitely gave off this image of, imagine Stefano as a CEO, or like a slightly not as bad Stefano, where he was like very drunk very often, kind of, you know, friends with everybody, having fun, and I don't know how much work he actually did. Like, this is obviously at events, so maybe from the day-to-day at DreamHack he did a lot more, or he had like really good connections. But as far as the actual events goes, I'm pretty sure, I don't know. He's a friend, so I can't say too much. But
would you say he was a party animal?
He wasn't a party animal. He didn't go overboard. He wasn't throwing up everywhere like Stefano has been on multiple occasions that I've experienced with him. But he definitely liked to drink, I would say, and he liked to have fun. And maybe, you know, they thought someone else would be better at the helm. There's also a lot of internal stuff that's happened over the last few years. I know in 2010 there was lawsuits going around where basically there's a lot of... See, with these old Swedish guys at DreamHack, it's really weird because a lot of them have these rich dads that have like ownership in DreamHack or some really strong influences in DreamHack or Sweden. And in 2010, something happened where Robert's dad sold stock of another owner illegally without not telling him, and then they wanted to take DreamHack publicly on the stock market, and then another party within DreamHack, probably the guy that's now the CEO, and his father didn't want to take it public, and it caused some like internal problems, and there was a lot of lawsuits and counter lawsuits that happened within DreamHack in 2010, and then in 2011 is when Robert became CEO. So I guess at the time Robert and his dad and his family won, but now I'm assuming the other side of that is the guy that is now going to be the CEO. I can't remember his name, but yeah, there's a lot of drama and a lot of stuff, and there's like a lot of shit I'm unsure of, but as far as what I've heard, in my opinion, that's all of it.
What about you, Kevin? You've have you casted a DreamHack?
Yeah, I did. I did one. I played in 2 as a Warcraft 3 player, and I also I casted DreamHack Winter 2011 together with Peter back then, which was kind of, you know, small side story. Like I felt like me and Ben, we had actually a really good cast for like 2 days straight, but it was mostly side stage because I don't know, there was something going on with switching between main and side stage, and with Jeff and Apollo, and like we truly didn't care. But we actually had a really fun show. That was a tournament where Naniwa and Torzane both made it to like the decider matches before dropping out in like the semifinals. Anyway, like 2 days long, everything was fine. Then we moved to the arena. That was like the first time ever that like I've had such bad sound quality. I couldn't hear Ben. I couldn't really hear myself. I couldn't hear game sounds. All I could hear was like echoing, and I had like no PC either, so I just had to follow Adabisi's vision. But I couldn't hear anything. That was an atrocious experience. Like I love DreamHack, but that was like the worst semi-final I ever had to cast in my life. People at home don't see that, but like it was like literally impossible for me to figure out what was going on in that game. But yeah, I know Robert. Robert is, I don't know, he's really fun. I don't really want to say anything too bad either. Like I do think indeed he was drunk very often. You know, I guess I'm not one to judge about that because like so have I been in my past. I guess these day and age you guys can confirm I don't really, but. What? I don't know. I don't really know what's going on inside the offices. So for me to just throw out speculations here, that would be a little bit too much, and there wouldn't really be any solid ground for that. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before more will come out. Now at first they always try to play it nice and say not too much is going wrong, and then over time more stories will come out, and then we'll all be wiser.
Yeah, they've been pretty good at damage control, even though people can see through the cracks.
Yeah. I mean, like obviously Robert is not happy at all. Like he's tweeting some pretty vulgar stuff. Like he's tweeting, he's tweeting gnarly things. And like I love Robert, but I don't think he should be tweeting that kind of thing because in the end we always say like, you know, we all love esports and stuff, and then like the moment that you will get removed from your company, no matter like how sad it is, to just wish the company would die and stuff, like that would be bad for everybody. That's like, it's kind of like, well, because I'm unhappy, I want the entire world to be unhappy. It's a little childish.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Ben? Your experience with Robert, because you've worked as recently for DreamHack.
Right. I have good experiences with Robert. The hiring process of working for DreamHack, like as a caster, as far as I know, Robert had nothing to do with that, and had like very little. In fact, from what I've heard, this is all what I've heard down the grapevine or whatever, but he had very little to do with like which games were picked, with which talent was hired. I'd see Robert at the events and stuff, but he wouldn't be a guy that's working backstage or anything. He'd be the guy that was like kind of enjoying the show and being kind of a part of the show.
Yeah, I guess that like that's one thing why when we say like Robert was drunk after. I guess most of Robert's work at an event goes into before the event actually happens, and the moment that it happens, like everybody has that task, and Robert's task is kind of done, because everything came together. So, yeah.
It's also who would expect a CEO to be going around busting his ass building like.
No,
stage or something, right? Like a CEO is supposed to just oversee things, make sure everything's smooth, and
like
then he doesn't give a shit otherwise. Go ahead.
I mean, like, as I'm saying that stuff, like, it wasn't real. Like, I never really spoke to him during the hiring process, but it wasn't like he's the CEO of DreamHack, right? Like, it wasn't his job to be hiring people and what have you. So, I actually have no idea how much work Robert did, as does nobody, I guess, outside of like DreamHack. Like I've heard rumors and stories. I know GrainCon was a really big part of like making DreamHack the way it is, which is really cool because he's a really good guy. But yeah, when I saw Robert, and when I saw that he was removed, the fact that he came out and just kind of said like, I hope it freaking rots, hope it dies. Like these are people that you've been working with for a long time or been associated with, and just kind of wishing it all to shit. And then the press release from DreamHack itself being all there's obviously something not being told here. You've got this guy that's very angry to be fired. You got these guys that are like, hey, there was no dispute, man, we just got rid of him, kind of thing, like blah blah blah, it's all daisies and roses over here. And then Robert's like, no, that's a crock of shit. Like, why is Robert not why is neither side telling what really what happened? Like, something really, really, really messy must have went down for neither of them. And I think both parties were probably wrong too, because if one party was totally in the innocent, they'd have probably said the whole story.
Yeah.
So exactly, I think it was a very, very messy divorce that happened, and I think it's kind of childish by Robert. But then again, I don't know what went. Nobody knows what went down. All you know is that it was freaking messy.
I can understand that he's like mad as hell because you don't have to be like a rocket scientist to read in between lines. Like obviously Robert didn't want to leave. They kind of forced him out to leave because they lost their confidence or something. That's what they said. Like they lost faith in the leadership, so they decided that a different direction would be better. So they wanted that. Obviously Robert didn't. So Robert is really sad about that, and you know that's his right. But yeah.
Well, also, Robert's also he has been known to say a lot of really insensitive stuff.
Yes.
Like there was like. I remember this one
the
time.
9/11 joke.
I was about to bring that up. Like, he made a joke about 9/11, and you know, you can't really do those kind of things, especially when you're trying to appeal to like a whole different continent that you don't really work in and stuff. Like, or when I say trying to work in, like, you know, also Sweden's becoming like a lot more politically correct, and all this jargon. Do you really want a CEO that's mouthing off and doing crazy things? Like, yeah, maybe I don't know how DreamHack's going to be in the future, but they were kind of, Robert gave this image that they're kind of like the party boys of the scene that did what they wanted because it was like the best and stuff, or you know, just because they wanted to do it. Whereas maybe they just don't want that image anymore. Maybe they do truly want to like appear very professional and very like they are doing the best because they think it's the best, you know. But whatever happened, I'm sad it happened because Robert was a cool guy and DreamHack was a cool guy, and it's not done either of them any good with this parting of ways because of like how they both dealt with it. I think like maybe DreamHack does prosper after this. Maybe they do.
But maybe
the way
it's
kind of sucky.
but you know, maybe there has been conversations between both parties like already several months ago or 6 months ago and be like, hey, we want you to clean up your act or something like that. Like we don't know anything that happened prior to this. You know, it kind of felt like this came out of nowhere. But I have a hard time imagining that this just truly was a decision made overnight or something. You know, this is probably something that has been playing in the back for a while. And ups and downs.
It's clear that they messed up because they should have been like. It's better for the company if they part ways like with respect and everything goes smoothly. So people fucked up and that's what happened. And then Robert, you know, was really mad, obviously. Moving on from this topic. Good luck to Robert, by the way. We like him. I've never met him, but he seems like a really nice guy.
Robert is really nice. Like he's just he's like one of the guys. If you go out at night and Robert is there, you know that he will at least be providing smiles to the entire group.
I'm also sad because like he's obviously really upset. You know, like he obviously really truly cared about being what he was, which was like DreamHack boss, and like. He's not that anymore. You saw him like tweeting that he feels like people will say Robert Who in like 2 months' time and stuff. So, you know, it's really sad that this guy and I'm not just throwing this out there. I think the word passion is overly used, but he really was a guy that really freaking cared about what he did and like the whole thing DreamHack. So, I'm sad that I'm sad to see him. I'm sad to see that he's gone. But I do hope he does stick around and do something else in the scene. You know, I worded that terribly, but. Yeah, I feel sad. I do feel sad about it.
Any final words, Chris?
Not really. I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay. So moving on, and actually I'm pretty disappointed with IEM. I know they have a lot of stuff to do, and I don't know who's on their editorial staff, but I was pretty upset today, and upset is maybe too strong of a word. The IEM signups for San Jose have now been open for the past 4 days, and it hasn't been on Reddit, and so I obviously want to go. And the way Open Bracket works for IEM is you have to apply, they have to accept you, and if you miss the application process timeline, then you're fucked. And so it's been 4 days. They haven't announced it. The deadline is in a little while. It's November 5th. Is the last day you can submit your application. So, you know, there's still a little bit of time, and I guess, you know, I'm doing them a favor by mentioning it here on the show. But signups have now been open for IEM San Jose. For those that don't know, they're doing a big tournament in the stadium where the Sharks are playing. The Sharks of San Jose. It's a 2-day event. The Open Bracket will be played at the studio in Burbank. So, you know, if you want to play for the Open Bracket and you want to attend the event afterwards, it's about a 4 or 5 days trip. I think it's really cool that we finally get a studio, IEM and a studio in North America. Because, you know, Toronto...
Stadium.
No. I mean, like, the Open Bracket part. I think it's nice that we get it in a studio. Because, you know, Canada and New York was, like, in a big convention. It's not as nice. And then if we look at IM Cologne, was in a studio for the open bracket part, so it gives like it's better production, it's better quality of matches.
But the entire IM Cologne was in the studio.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is the open bracket is gonna be nicer than Toronto, than Canada, than New York. So that's cool. And you can now apply to participate. There's slot distribution, so 2 USA players, 4 North American, 2 South American, 2 Asians, 2 Europeans, and 4 global players will be allowed in the open bracket. HuK, did you apply, by the way?
I did, yes.
Yes, okay. When did you apply? Why didn't you tell me? I thought we were friends.
My manager always applies for me, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I need to get one of those, apparently. Did you see that we're in the cover picture?
Yeah, I did see that when
That's
I
so
was
cool.
watching the stream. Well,
Yes.
it's more me. It's like 50% me, and then like 40% my muscles because they're so big, and then there's like 5% you and 5% Teja. But yeah,
You know that's a compliment, right?
because I have big muscles.
No,
I like how desRow
It's
is
on the
really
stream.
looking at your muscles too. He's like
He's-
super looking at
yeah.
your bicep.
Let's not bring up the previous subject.
Yes.
Him looking at bodies. He just likes watching fit people.
Alright, guys, that wraps up the first part of Remax. We're good. When do you want me to come back from that, man? We're going to take a small break. When we come back, there's going to be more Remax talk. We'll be taking your questions as well. So get on Reddit, get on Twitter, use the hashtag SC2Remax. And if you want to support the show, you can get over to desrowfighting.tv/store to buy a Remax shirt, and it supports the show. So I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in 3 minutes.